Hello, everybody. If I look weird, that's because my body can't fight off a virus, and because of that, I ended up having a whole bunch of other issues pop up, including currently dealing with an eye infection. So I just have a nice little wet wipe in here to pat my eyes with from time to time. So if Infold could have chosen a worse time for me to fuck up, this would be it. But I don't think the Chinese company exactly runs on my time when it comes to their fuck ups. Now, to sum up what has happened, it will actually sound a little bit funny because effectively Infold has made an anti-leaks statement, as in they're gonna be pursuing leakers, which sounds entirely normal, and it would be entirely normal if it was any other company. What has happened, though, is that they worded the global message in such a way that they managed to insult practically everyone on the global side. So I'm gonna read you the message that they have originally posted on Instagram, on X, on all of their social media platforms. Keep in mind that they have later deleted this message and reposted a rewording of this message 5 different times. They kept on taking it down and putting it back up again, reworded it a little bit, but then they kept on doing this back and forth. The message that is up currently is also the message that everybody has received in their player mail, so we're gonna go into the game and check that out. Afterwards, this is gonna be a fairly long video because I want to show you guys the reaction from the global community, the reaction from the Chinese community, which has been entirely different, mainly due to cultural differences, and then also memes, because we have so many memes. So let's just begin from reading the message that everybody took offense to because they wrote it in such a weird way. Dear stylists, since Infinity Nikki's launch, your love and support have meant everything to us. That very affection, however, has also attracted unwelcome attention. Every new version represents countless hours of our team's sleepless dedication, and every reveal is a promise we make to you. I am gonna also interrupt that there has been quite a few questions about the team's welfare due to the message that they have put out in here. If you have 1,000 employees that are working on a long-term live service project, they shouldn't be going sleepless nights. This sounds like crunch culture turned to 1,000, which means that this team has never stopped crunching, aka they probably don't even know who their wife or husband is anymore. They sleep and live in the studio and exist purely to make Infinity Nikki, or at the very least, that's what this message makes it sound, which was another big strike against the global audience because global audience don't entertain that kind of work-life balance. We don't like that. We don't like supporting companies that do that. So maybe don't word your posts like that. We pour passion into planning, refining, and optimizing so we can deliver that first moment wonder and a seamless experience. Yet the recent leaks have stifled unreleased creations, disrupted our development momentum, and deprived you of the joy of discovering content as intended. Mind you, if you're on the western side of the game, there are places that you can go to find leaks, but I don't think that you're gonna walk into them on accident. I'm not gonna say any more because I am not here to snitch for Infold because this is actually precisely what they ask for later on, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's kind of not illegal for me to say it in this way because I'm neither disclosing the location to you nor what the leaks were, so Infold, don't you dare take this video down over that. We understand your disappointment and frustration. Please know this. We value these creative achievements above all. Stolen assets and illicit leaks cause serious harm to our team and to every player who cherishes this world. Thus, we hereby solemnly declare obtaining or distributing unreleased game content by illegal means harms our creators and undermines the game experience for everyone. Leaking unrelated game content through illegal channels may yield temporary gains, but will assuredly not evade legal consequences. We have launched a full investigation into this incident and will pursue all responsible parties to the fullest extent permitted by law. At the same time, we sincerely appeal to all stylists. Do not share or discuss leaked content. Leaks are poison to all creations. To all creation, even. Let me just try and zoom in on this one. Every act of resistance respects original creation and safeguards a lawful, orderly digital world. Should you encounter illicit leaks, please report them to Infinity Nikki _CS at infoldgames.com. All reports will be promptly addressed. We extend heartfelt gratitude for your steadfast support, understanding and unwavering courage in rejecting illegal leaks. We sincerely believe that true creativity and passion cannot be undone by leaks for short-term gains. As a token of our appreciation, the 4-star handheld item Pounding Hammer will be sent to you via in-game mail as a gift within 24 hours. Mail expires on September 28th. 2025. Let us safeguard Infinity Nikki creative ecosystem together. Hammer down every illegal leak. Strike every act of theft and distribution. Together we will defend this infinitely radiant world belonging to all stylists. Infinity Nikki dev team. And it came with this picture. Leaks are poison to all creation. Do you see how bonkers it sounds to read this? Because I'm just gonna microphone. We're gonna stay out of shot. Thank you. Do you see how bonkers this reads and why it provoked not the kind of reactions that they kind of wanted? Now, I'm gonna read the more sane version inside the game, and I'm also gonna explain to you why the rest of what they sent with this message is also kind of hitting the players in all the wrong ways. Anyway, yeah, Infold has done goofed as far as the global audience is concerned, and this is not the kind of done goof that people just kind of laugh it off. This is the kind of done goof that people stop spending money over because, yeah, somebody has to be there that works inside English PR and also English translation team. They could have avoided a lot of this if this was more tonally correct for the audience that they're targeting, which it absolutely wasn't. And if you want to know the incident that they're talking about, they have caught an employee leaking things up to 1.11, and it was mostly all of the upcoming banners. This employee was even like posting sketches that they got from like dev meetings. And in some of these leaks, their own personal ID was even shown on the pictures, so Infold would absolutely know who broke the no disclosure, the NDA agreement. So, for one thing, this could have been handled entirely in-house. You didn't need to try and mobilize everybody to snitch on leakers, when you should very well know who was leaking from inside your company, considering that you have all the information on that person. So this whole announcement was unnecessary. But not only was it unnecessary, it was very dramatic, over the top, asking people to snitch on each other in the community like we're some sort of I don't know, the secret police for Infinity Nikki in particular. You don't pay me a wage. No way am I doing that. Um, and they also hit everybody really wrong with their release of that hammer handheld, but on a little bit on that later. Let's go into the game, and I'm gonna like show you the hammer handheld and the message that eventually released through the mail and wasn't like an early post on social media that then they fucked up with so much that they had to delete it repeatedly. Welcome to my in-game mail. This is the message that they have eventually settled down on, and it reads like this. Dear stylists, we have recently become aware that some unauthorized development materials from our game have been illegally shared on multiple platforms. These creative works were meant to be revealed at the right time, but instead have been exposed through improper channels. We understand the frustration this may cause. Please know that no one values these creative works more than we do. The theft and illegal distribution of game content is harmful not only to our team, but also to the community that loves and supports this game. We want to state clearly, any act of obtaining or distributing unreleased content through illegal means harms both the creative team and the player experience. Those responsible may gain short-term benefit, but they will face the consequences. We have already launched a full investigation into the matter and will pursue the appropriate legal action. At this time, we ask you for your support. Please do not share or discuss leaked content. Leaks are poison to all creation. You really might want to edit this line out because it really sounds unnecessarily dramatic. By refraining, you show respect for the creative process and help build and maintain a healthy gaming community. Once again, thank you for your understanding, support, and commitment to protecting the integrity of our game. We believe that our creativity and passion will not be diminished by these leaks. Let's work together to hammer out these leaks. Once again, could have really omitted this line, really not necessary. Protect Infinity Nikki and preserve this beautiful world we built together. At the very least, this message sounds a lot more sane. There's obviously still leftovers from the previous message, like leaks are poison to all creation, that is like entirely unnecessary, over the top, and will just set your community wrong. But effectively, majority of this drama could have been avoided if A, they have handled this inside the house, because the leaks are coming from their compromised employees, which they do have the legal power to pursue and actually like sentence, because they are breaking like actual in-company agreements by releasing things that they're not supposed to be releasing. A lot of companies would have just handled this in-house. Or if you're gonna send a message, this message is a lot more sane outside of a couple of lines that are entirely unnecessary, like leaks are poison to all creation. But then it comes with this batshit crazy handheld as well. Pounding hammer. Whoever wrote the description of this, did you really think it was gonna go down well? There are moments when one's hands itch, eager to raise a mighty hammer toward a certain target. It doesn't sound playful, it sounds fucking threatening. I feel like this game is trying to threaten me with violence, and I haven't even done anything wrong. So, that's not going down well. It's also sweet, playful, and romance. What? The end of it looks like a dick. We are gonna claim it, and I'm gonna actually like show it up close to you, but hopefully YouTube doesn't like demonetize me because it doesn't look right. Okay? It doesn't. Look at that. I mean, I can see why the playful and the romance tags, and it's not because it's a gag gift, but because of this bit. Like, I can absolutely imagine Infinity Nikki penetrating herself with this. Whoever designed this hammer, I'm very baffled by the decisions made here. But I am gonna tell you guys why this is coming off really badly for the community as well. And for that, I need to do my ability setup. And maybe I'll replace this one for the time being. Let's go with... Why not? Let's go with a 4-star that I have already had. So, one of the issues that this game is currently dealing with is that a lot of 4-stars that release, they release with handhelds that are whimsicalities. For example, there is a shepardess outfit that I haven't pulled on, that a lot of people did, but I haven't pulled on for this exact reason, that has a staff, which is a very nice, intricate staff that people would have liked to have had as a handheld and made a lot of pictures with, as a whimsicality. I'm gonna try and explain to you what a whimsicality is. Whimsicality is effectively a special ability. This is a 4-star that I do own. So this is the special ability. She like spawns some glowing floating chairs that don't really do anything. It's honestly a very crap special ability, but the shepherdess staff works the same way. You press a button, she like performs one animation, and it isn't an item that you can carry around with you. Another reason why this is such a... It went down with the community so badly is because the community kept on telling Infold that no, we want handhelds to be handhelds. We don't want handhelds to be whimsicalities. And Infold was all like, okay, we're gonna go and redo the old sets later on, and we're gonna make those whimsicalities into true handhelds. But not only have they not done that yet, they have announced the 4-stars that are releasing in merely a couple of days now. I'm pretty sure it's not out yet, is it? No, it's not. But soon. Actually, if I go to this login gifts, yeah, it's in 3 days. You can see the countdown here. When that countdown expires, there's gonna be an update and we're gonna have the 4-star banners up. One of those banners is effectively like a sword fighter woman, and once again, I'm allowed to talk about this because this isn't a leak. Infold has actually revealed these. And everybody was hyped about having a real sword. People like swords, people like weapons. The previous Nikki games have even had things like machine guns. The closest that we have to a sword right now is this. You could have had like a play sword, effectively. Which community wanted a real sword, and that set looked like it was gonna come with a real sword. It's not a real sword, it's a fucking whimsicality again. They have received feedback. They know that that's not what the community wants. They said, okay, we're gonna replace these handheld whimsicalities with real whimsicalities going forward. They haven't done so, and they haven't even done so for the upcoming, like, 4-stars, the ones that haven't even dropped yet. Like, you know that that's what the feedback is. So, to add insult to injury, not only is that not a handheld, but then, like, they released this. The whole leak drama has happened maybe like 2 days ago. That's how fast they have made a freaking gag gift that is a handheld. But they can't release their own sets with a friggin' handheld. They can't... They can release this. They can whip this out in 2 days. But they can't, like, whip out their actual 4-star banner handhelds? What? That is so incredibly confusing for me, and the community did not take it well. The community was also very upset about this because it feels like it is being rubbed into people's faces. Of people wanted like real handhelds. The company did say that they understand that people want real handhelds. And then they didn't. Then they didn't make 4-star sets come with real handhelds, they make them come with whimsicalities, but they're capable of whipping out this hammer in 2 days tops. So, you know, that didn't go down well, let alone the fact that the hammer's description reads like you're being threatened, which is not gonna go down well. So, let me now go and read to you how the global has reacted to this. Later on, we're gonna discuss how the Chinese players have reacted to this. So, the first page on this is just me showing that I'm not crazy. They did actually delete and repost their announcements multiple times, to a point where people that came into all this scandal late were even like, what's the scandals about? The message doesn't read that bad, because, well, the message that we received in mail, by this point, it has a bit of a funny quirks, but they were constantly deleting and reposting and rewording their social media posts. They would post them, receive a lot of negative reactions, take them down, reword it slightly, repost it. And that kept on just turning and turning and turning and going around. So just for posterity's sake, I wasn't the only one to see this happen in real time. People did record, and there were quite a lot of posts going, Infold just deleted the last statement, this is the new statement. But anyway, I grabbed a pretty early one from Instagram. I don't know if that was the earliest one, but when I grabbed it, it was up for like 26 minutes. So maybe I managed to get the iteration one, which was what upset a lot of players. Now, let me just read you some posts from global players' reactions. I'm just gonna be reading the opinion post and not the comments down below. I will be linking all these posts in the description down below so you can go and read some comments. I will draw out a bit of a division here, where I feel bad doing this, because a lot of people say that these kind of posts coming from Infold is kind of meant to make your own community fight amongst each other, because then they're not really looking at the bigger company. It's just drama for drama's sake, right? So there is 2 Reddits, Infinity Nikki Official, which is controlled by Infold, and Infinity Nikki. Now, Infinity Nikki's Reddit, opinions on the game will skew however it is popular to think about the game at a time. So when something happens, the Reddit can become very negative, it can become very hurt, very emotionally volatile. I do like it for it, because it brings that very chaotic energy, but if we have like a good patch, then it will also start skewing positive in opinions, and negative opinions will get downvoted a little bit. So the community kind of gets irked when there's something to irk it, but it can get like really, really irked when there's something to irk it. Meanwhile, Infinity Nikki Official always skews positive. It's a very moderated subreddit. It is very hard to express your own opinions on it. And my opinions have been taken down for things that are even like outside social media. Like, I have videos of mine removed because my channel also hosts videos of spirituality that has been deemed inappropriate for teenagers, as Infinity Nikki Official subreddit is moderated by the standards of teen and up, not adult and up. You also can't swear at all, show alcohol or anything like that. So effectively, I have had a lot of my content pulled, and I am very much unwelcome there, because my channel is not kid-friendly, it's not teen-friendly, and I don't fit that guidelines. Even if the channel that I'm posting directly fits the guidelines, there are very, very strict moderation standards there. So I'm not saying that that subreddit can't be critical, but that subreddit was quite critical of criticism this time, and while there were some posts that were expressing upset, a lot of the upset that you see in here is from Infinity Nikki unofficial, not moderated by Infold Reddit. And I will upset some people by saying this, but I believe that when we're talking about the global population of the English speakers that come together at the English-speaking social media of Infinity Nikki, unofficial Reddit represents them better because A, it is much, much bigger, and B, it is a lot less strictly moderated, therefore a lot more opinions are acceptable. Therefore, a lot of the posts that you're gonna see here are mostly posts from the unofficial subreddit. Keep that in mind. I'm painting like the global population with one broad brush, but it is my belief that that brush is correct one to paint it with. So this is the opinions of the global population of Infinity Nikki, aka the people that are in the global servers and the people that are quite specifically going to English-speaking social media. For example, Japanese players are not on Chinese servers, obviously, but they have Japanese-speaking social media, so they're less likely to be here. But if you're like a European or an American or an Australian, for example, you're a lot more likely to be with the global English-speaking audience. So that is what I'm reading. Just to make it clear. Infold's recent post about leaks. I'm not here to say whether leaks are okay or not, but Infold's recent post feels extremely unprofessional and dismissive of our current problems. Problems being the fact that they didn't show us the 4-star banners dispatched like they normally do, and then not communicating on why, unless it was just a sleazy way of new marketing to get more money from us. Reading it felt like they were just trying to meme. It was really odd. I expected them to at least address the banner issue, but nothing. Instead, it just felt like they were trying to make us feel bad. Edit. Adding this edit to say that they deleted their post, at least on Discord where I get my updates, and reposted it using better wording overall. I'm not sure what happened, but it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Edit 2. Added the original post in the comments, not sure how else to add it, lol. And the language is so hysterical I really thought it was a parody. For those on IG, here's the full post. And it links to the Instagram post. I don't know if it's still up. I think that they have actually left the original one on their Instagram. That's a very odd choice of theirs. This really confirms my suspicions that there's at least one person in charge at this company who is a complete power-tripping lunatic. I feel sorry for all the employees who have to deal with this embarrassing behavior, and it's tagged girl caught, boy caught, and this shows just a description of the pounding hammer. There are moments when one's hands itch, eager to raise mighty hammer towards a certain target. Just like I pointed out, that wording didn't work for me either. It didn't feel whimsical or playful. It did sounded quite threatening. So yeah, not something to put out as a company. 100%. I am lucky to have sneaky insider knowledge of a large game company that is crumbling, completely unrelated to Nikki, thanks to upper management bozos making power-trippy decisions that everyone else in their company hates but can't do anything about. They got Discord chats roasting the shit out of management. I see some very, very similar behavior patterns at Infold and many other gaming companies. It's frustrating. Are they out of their minds? Leaks are poison to all creation in-game mail. I'm insulted. I'm just straight up insulted. You know whose problem leaks are? Not mine. I am a player, a consumer. I have no control over leaks, nor can I influence them in any way. Would I appreciate them being more timely with previews of new and upcoming outfits? Absolutely. Would I potentially spend more if I felt like my time and energy was respected? Absolutely. Do I appreciate being scolded for something that I cannot control? Absolutely not. This is an internal business matter. This is between Infold and their employees. If they're being hacked, that is also an internal matter for their employees. It is not appropriate for them to send emails telling players that leaks are naughty. If they want to not have leaks, they need to get ahead of the leaks and do the leaking themselves. If they want to control the narrative, they need to offer previews in a more timely fashion. Brrr. I'm sorry, but Infold just handing out these corny ass banhammers to turn us into some kind of self-surveilling Maryland Gestapo while the player base are still begging for handhelds? You just have to laugh. And with all the things that still need addressing, they really didn't waste time with something as lame as this. Like, damn, just give us the handhelds. And the post comes with the two emotes of really and is this reasonable? I hate that it had to come to this, but I think I'm pretty much done with this game. Infold has made it clear to me where their priorities stand, and it's not with their player base. They want to blame us for the leaks, and leaks I never even saw. Not that I'm saying they don't exist, but Infold publicly announcing that leaks are out there is just gonna trigger a transient effect. And try to make us snitch and turn against one another. When they fail to realize the reason leaks are being spread around in the first place is because for some reason Infold vehemently refuses to adopt the drip marketing strategy that's pretty much a given for all open world gacha games. I wouldn't have an issue with the hammer toy they sent to everyone if it wasn't for the fact they put their own logo right on it. Like, not only does it feel like they're spitting in my face, but it also kind of breaks the game's immersion. But I think my biggest breaking point here is the Discord server. It's just full of yes men who will always be there to lick Infold's boots and dogpile anybody who has the nerve to criticize the company and their predatory practices. I was really hoping post 1.5 things would improve and only get better. But instead, Infold just wants to dig their own grave before IN even reaches its first anniversary. Maybe, just maybe, they might actually take our criticism and feedback into account for 2.0, but then again, that just might be wishful thinking. Girl Caught 2.0. It's funny, I haven't given this game any more money since the 1.5 debacle, but I was genuinely thinking about spending money this season to get the extra outfit and also to boost my pulse for next patch. But now, honey, now, after this embarrassing nonsense, I ain't giving them a cent. I have no problem with them stopping leakers, but girl, the call is coming from inside the house. Don't blame your player base. So strange. Is the CEO of Infold a toddler? A hammer, but not a sword? I feel mocked and a tad disappointed. I created a post trying to show support for Infold's recent actions because while still greedy of, like, always, the content they released felt much more tested and well-rounded. Yes, there's a lot of negatives, but I also feel like this game gives me quite a lot of joy. Now they show yet again how fast they can respond if it's for their own monetary gains. Sad face. Like, come on! It's the same thing with the Banner 4 issue versus the missing sketch chest all over again. And yet we're still waiting on the more drastic issues still remaining from 1.5. Not only that, but now they give us a hammer of justice to rat out leakers, a hammer handheld, but still no sword, only whimsicality handhelds. That was one of the issues that I highlighted for you guys, so hopefully you can understand the speech in here. Infold, I really want to support you because this game is niche and I see your vision. But come on, you must start listening to us if you want support. I am gonna now show you one of the very rare, very upvoted posts in actually Infinity Nikki official that didn't get taken down that was very critical about their actions. You can make handhelds to threaten us with, but not when we spend money. Sad face. Well, angry face, more like it. I don't appreciate being threatened for your employees' misconduct. once again, Pounding Hammer is shown with the little bit of there are moments when one's hands itch, mighty hammer, to raise a mighty hammer towards a certain target. It's because the picture cuts off in a very weird way. To whom it concerns, I do not appreciate being threatened for your employees' misconduct. As if we, the community, know anything about what the next releases are. And to suggest that we, the players, are somehow obtaining and disseminating this information via nefarious strategies is not only preposterous, it's an insult to the users who have been supporting you all this time. You sure whipped up the hammer handheld fast, but you can't be motivated to release handhelds for paid outfits. Unless it's a dragon face mask? Because that makes sense. You know full well it's one of your employees. Send out an internal office memo. Don't threaten us. We're not that reason your revenue has dropped from 20k. Maybe that happened because you have face masks as handhelds. Handhelds are whimsical illusions that disappear, and you threw out really good storyline in exchange for buggy, messy Sea of Stars. Leave us alone and get back to work. So, the comments on this post are not super positive. Like, some people are supporting the opinion poster, and some people are doing things like, girly, you need to go and touch some grass, because as I said, Infinity Nikki official skews a lot more positive than the unofficial subreddit. This is a nice cross-section for what the opinions are from the global audience. In the next part of this video, let me just show you a bit of a sum up to how the Chinese players reacted, which was a lot different to how the global audience reacted in general. So we don't have a lot from the Chinese players on the global side. There are a couple of dedicated people that tend to scour Red Note and just see overall reactions and then post it back to global. So this is what kind of happened in here. And there is a lot of differences between how the two audiences reacted to this whole announcement. And there's also a couple of posts kind of guessing why the reaction is so different. So let me just read you this post. CN players' reactions sum up, in case anyone is curious about it. According to the replies on Red Notes under the announcement regarding leaks, majority agree on Infold's movement of fighting against uncles this time. Most people also mentioned Infold had a terrible idiot PR marketing for keeping everything to the last few days, and many suggested that the official should give some small hints instead of waiting until the last day. Many people said that they like small and abstract leaks, but this time 5 sets of dresses, 3 months in advance is a bit too much. Once again, as I said, the employee leaked all the way up to 1.11 updates, so he did leak quite far. Some of the reasons for being against leakings. 1. Being afraid of being plagiarized, which has happened before. Love Nikki and Shining Nikki both have been plagiarized by mini dressing games. And if such plagiarism happens before Infold releases the dress, Infold may be accused by other games players, by people who don't know the truth, of being the one who plagiarizes. If anyone happens to know a bit about Chinese game fandoms, they would know that this is a serious issue for them. 2. There are people who don't like leaks. Compared to carefully planning resources, they prefer the surprise and the normal pace planned by the developer team. And many people during spreading don't really know that they're supposed to tag spoilers alert, which makes leaked material an easy jump scare for people who don't want leaks. Within the last 10 minutes, I saw detailed word descriptions about the leaked material and countless amount of people explicitly talking about the large theme, which, once again, it's a bit harder on the Western side because our community is it's less in one place. Like, we have dedicated places for leaks, and then, like, non-dedicated places for leaks just, like, remove leaks, so it's harder to come on them by accident. 3. Infold has a history of deleting the leaked dress, and players don't want to see that happen. Infold did overreact in previous games a few times, so when their stuff got leaked, they just never released it instead to spite players, which honestly is kind of odd to me to begin with. 4. It is illegal. Yes, this one is actually the most common reason, which somehow surprised me. Even though people know that it is illegal mainly because the company's profits are being affected, the mere fact that it's illegal is enough for many people to tell each other to stop asking for leaks, spreading leaks everywhere online. Interestingly, on Chinese social media, few people talked about the tone of the announcement, either being unofficial or too aggressive. Edit. Quick response to that might just be the comment left after Infold actively control-select delete the comments. Just want to clarify, the above info was not only concluded from the comments under Infold's announcement, instead they were largely from other players' posts and comments under their posts regarding this event. Many players have noticed that it is because the company has disappointingly low productivity plus bad timing of announcements for activities that lead to more players seeking for leaks out of boredom and more leakings to gain these people's attention. Another update, regarding the hammer, there's also different interpretation. Many Chinese players consider it as Infinity Nikki using the hammer to smash the leakers, and see it more as like a free, cute handheld, a funny item. At least for now. I haven't seen any comment mentioning about not wanting this hammer. Well, the global was very much seeing it as a threat. In my opinion, for good reason, but then again, I am on the global, and the way that you worded that description on that item, man. Cultural differences in the tone of PR posts. I want to preface this by saying I am not trying to say Infold good, just sharing my thoughts as they come up earlier today. I think the post Infold made with leaks, comma, are poison to all creation is cringe as all heck, and have seen the Western reaction to it, so I got curious and checked Red Note for the Chinese reaction. I was surprised to see that most were supportive of it, and did not seem to mind the hammer either. In fact, the reaction mostly seemed to be positive, with only one comment that I could find commenting that the leak was not even done by the player base. The tone of the post was overdramatic and sounded insulting when I read it, however the Chinese version read much more standard. This combined with my partner's comment about DeepSeek sounding much more aggressive in its output compared to ChatGPT, I was looking at example emails reinforcing building rules as I'm trying to write one for work, and one of the lines it output was, "Your compliance is not optional, it is required." Makes me think that Infold's PR operates purely for the Chinese side. On top of them needing to hire proper translators, they really need to invest in hiring someone to gap the culture differences between what is acceptable text to the Chinese players and what is acceptable text to Western players. I agree, because it's not really that they're going after the leakers that's the bad thing, it's the way that they worded that message and the item that they sent with it. Like, from a Western perspective, they look absolutely batshit crazy, kinda threatening, and creating drama for no reason. From Chinese perspective, it's like Tuesday for them, I guess, because that's just how their companies often act. Anyway, we had seen the serious reactions, serious discussions that both sides were having about this. Now, how about we chill with some memes, because this has been really on fire. So, of course, memes are like flooding the subreddits, left, right, and center. Some having more of a point, others being funny for the sake of being funny. I like how one person very rightfully just went with AI is poison of all creation. Hire translators, because this whole situation could have been avoided if that is precisely what they did, because it does seem like it was worded with AI, and hence why it came down as completely culturally insensitive. This meme of just, illegal leaks, illegal discounts, because Infold is still discounting even real money items in countries where they're not allowed to do that. Just thumbs up. Somebody made this, which was just gas leaks, are poison. Mostly because they, for some reason, put a comma after leaks before they are poison, so everybody's just like keeping the formatting the same for their memes. Can you all add more? AI-generated translations are poison to all creation. Overworking your employees is poison to all creation. Once again, as I said, the fact that you said that your employees are working sleeplessly on this game did not go down well with the global audience. Fake discounts are poison to all creation, also illegal in many countries, lol. Gatekeeping your content and trying to trigger fear of missing out is poison to all creation. Infold right now. Leaks are poison to all creation. Strike down the hammer of justice. Infinity Nikki players like, like, what? Why are you yelling at me? Because that is how a lot of people in the West felt. Like, whoa, what does this have to do with me? Why are you being so angry? I do not understand. Infold is good at making money. Make players pull for handhelds and banners. Oh, no. You can't have that handheld sword. Give all players a handheld for free. You can have a free hammer. I mean, if you look at that way, they are effectively anti-incentivizing other people from pulling, so that's nice. Chinese version of the statement has evolutions because they posted it in blue, in this light blue, gray, green kind of color, in this pink color, and then in green color. Yay! So it's like, pick your color. If you're Chinese, global players didn't get to pick their color. Dude, what's the point of having a hammer in game if even saying the word is illegal? The wrath of Nikki and her hammer. They had to change the wrath of Nikki and her hammer with a 4 instead of an A, and then it posted. Also, please ignore that she's blue. I don't know why, but the clown makeup is so bugged. This is peak infoldism in one image. The hammer, not being allowed to say the word hammer. The glitched clown makeup that asphyxiates Nikki. It is art. This is indeed art. Critical thinking is far to be sought. People are looking up leaks because they want to know about the upcoming banners. What do we do? Showcase banners a week before it drops. Currently, we only get it like a couple of days before it drops. Give hints about themes and items before the patch drops. Cry about it online and ask players to snitch. We'll have the announcement generated by AI and give the players hammers. Laughing my ass off! About the leaks. EA, first time, Infold. Huh? As a Sims 4 player, I find Infold's reaction to the leaks very funny, because I'm so used to Sims 4 where everything gets leaked all the time. Of course, I can't understand why. For Sims, it's free advertising, all the packs are permanent, where for Infold, Infinity Nikki leaks make people save for the thing that they rather want and impulsively get the dress available now. Until the day I die, I'll never rat on a leaker. Joining the war on leaks, on the side of the leaks, with this little edit, with that pathetic hammer inside this big man's sand with like a little bow tie. It's just, it's art. It's art. Leaks are poison for all creation. Don't eat leaks, people. They're bad. They're bad for you. Wrong handheld, Infold. There were so many handhelds that we wanted and not a single one got added. But oh, let's give them a ban hammer. Creds to LG Winters for the screenshot. I hope I'm pronouncing that username correctly. All of these are in the description down below as well. So like, you have all of these different banners that had whimsicality handhelds that were not real handhelds that people wanted as handhelds, and then Infold is like looking away from all of that and just like free toy hammer as a handheld instead. Nikki fandom this week, updated based on current events. Here we go again with Infold doing the most and the least for the community. Broken heart emoji. And just a whole bunch of unhappy momos just hammering everything with the fake toy hammer. Our company never let us down and is already investigating our huge network of leaks. This person has sent the company a rickroll because Infold has given out their email. Hopefully it is AI looking at these because otherwise their employees are gonna be so confused. Their email said this. It's leak hater 0 as well, so they even generated a fake email address for this. Hello, stylist boss. As a fellow stylist, I will do as you command and help you in your crusade against the degenerate leakers, my liege. Please enter the following link here to have access to the huge network. The following link leads to a rickroll. Hi, stylist. Thank you so much for your report. Please provide relevant screenshots and link as evidence, and we will submit them to the team after verification. Thank you for your cooperation and support, Infinity Nikki support team. I'm honored to get your attention, Infold Senpai. I will be attaching leakers' emails and usernames in the text file and screenshots on my drive so they can be punished by your almighty hammer. Don't forget to cross information with the link that I've sent you. And this is their Google Drive. And it's all pictures. Let me just move this a little bit of the rickroll. All of them. All of them. But there's so many. There's just so many. It keeps on going. Yes, just rickroll a Chinese company. I hope that they understand the humor, because obviously the Western people do, but that's because we know what a rickroll is, and now the Chinese people will have to deal with it. Anyway, so the subreddits are having a nice time. Let me just offer a couple of closing thoughts. So my closing thoughts are that they did fuck up. This is not how you treat your audience in general. And normally, I look at each patch whether or not I should spend money on the monthly and on the whole battle pass thing. And then this patch I did because 1.7 was good, 1.8 was good. Now I kind of regret it because apparently they can't go 3 patches without extreme self-sabotage. So even if 1.9 is good, I'm going back into the no spending group like I was at 1.5. And I'm probably gonna spend at least 3 patches there again, because I need to be convinced that you can output good patches before I put in any kind of money into this game. And more importantly, now I need to be convinced that you can go a couple of months before causing drama for yourself. So really the only thing that I imagine this is gonna do is make the Western population spend less on the game. So good job. Just good job. Well done, you. You for some reason can't stop self-sabotaging. I don't know what to tell ya. If any of you have any kind of thoughts about this whole happening, please leave them in the comment section down below. It wasn't that super serious for me. The announcement was bad. Bad. But the whole Infinity Nikki wider social media group has made it fun because a lot of memes came out of it and is still coming out of it. And, well, there's a person rickrolling the support team, so, good times. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for my Patreon supporters for supporting me and for allowing me to make videos such as these. I'm mostly resting this week. Thankfully, because of how I schedule my things, I have time to rest. So, hopefully, you're not gonna see poofy-eyed Mirta recording Vampire the Masquerade videos, because that is the next thing on my schedule that I kinda need to do. Hopefully I can leave it till next week and my eye will clear up. But like, I had to make stops in between recording this to just go to the bathroom, to use some eye drops, because it really just, it's really irritated if I don't. And I have like friggin' baby wipes in order to not contaminate my eye with anything. I have like a million creams, all because my immune system just decided to take a big fat poo-poo on itself and was all like, we can't fight viruses anymore. Let's have all the problems we have had in like the past 2 years in one nice big package. Hopefully, this doesn't last, because the last time I managed to get problems like these, they actually lasted for 2 months. Hopefully, not the case this time, because gotta tell you, functioning like this is a bit miserable. So hopefully, by the time that you see my other videos, they will be of a healthier version of me. That's also, I suppose, easier on the eyes. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I'm gonna see you in my other videos, and toodaloo for now.